Hey, what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Tamanini here with Jazz Guitar Under 5 Minutes. Obviously, I'm probably going to go over today because I just played for about 2 minutes on my demonstration tune, right? So I'm here today to talk about September in the Rain, and while I'm a few weeks late on the calendar, no time like the present, right? So check it out. September in the Rain, written by Harry Warren. Some great versions. Dinah Washington does a wonderful version. So does Frank Sinatra. Roy Hargrove does a wonderful instrumental version. Many live clips too. Those are sort of the go-to renditions that I try to, emulate a little bit when I play this song. So check it out. Another thing about this tune is it's written very poorly in all the real books. This is a song that probably I avoided as a younger man because I was really unsure of the changes. When I played this tune with a really good band, it sounded cool. When I called it on some of my gigs with players that were maybe a little bit more inexperienced as I was, it always, turned out poorly until I really understood what I was hearing. And check it out. The A songs to this song, just heard me play a big bulk of it. Right, this song is one long turnaround, right? I like to think of it. It starts out as a 1, 4, 3, 6 to 2, right? For a couple bars. Then I go to D flat. Now, usually this D flat's going to resolve to an E flat, but tricky here, it goes to the 2, right? And that's sort of what happens in a lot of these poor copies of this song, right? The changes are just all over the place. It gets to the A flat where the F minor should be. It's listed as an A flat minor 6, or I'm sorry, A flat 6, which sure, and harmonically is the same as an F minor, but yeah, you don't really want to be playing that A flat over an F note, a 2. So check it out. The melody to this song is also really simple, and I've always found that songs with really simple melodies can always be the hardest to play because you maybe think that they're boring, or in some cases where there's a melody like this where you're just pretty much playing like a pentatonic scale. It can be kind of hard to space out. And you'll notice what I ended up doing when I played the melody is I kind of played it in 2 different positions. Right? You got that pickup note, that B flat, and it goes to the 6. Luckily with this song, there's the first part that I kind of harmonized in a real small area, right, on these lower strings. I like to do that in tunes to, play the song an octave lower, and then when you play it on the other A section, bring it up an octave. Definitely breaks up the piece a little bit, and you learn, as a guitar player, you learn more on your guitar. So check it out. Another thing about this song is, you could really, well, it gets a little too dark there, but I really like to think of that B flat note as like, your 5 that you can start on. And then you notice I put like a sharp 5 in there. But okay, so forget about that. Let's just play it regularly. Right? I kind of just a real close E flat 6 there. And this is the best chord in here. It's an A flat with a D on top. A lot of the times I might have voiced this like something like that, but here when you get the 9th and the sharp 11, this is a case where you get an easy melody with some really hip harmony that works out great. So I have this, right? I pick up the C on my G, goes to A flat, and I don't play a chord for every note. I'm just playing on the strong beats because I want to just get an easy outline of this song. And then I have that. Here it goes again. And you'll notice I have that F for a while. So I just went from this F minor up to there, and it repeats that same line with a D flat. Now, a lot of people will play a 1-6-2-5. I didn't play a 1-6-2-5. After you play a song for a long time, you realize that the turnarounds are really the spot where you can kind of put your own little fingerprints on the song. And I put my fingerprints on the turnaround. I went E flat, D flat, B. And then when I played this melody again, same notes, but I'm getting some different voicings. I kind of do like some fourth things there. And then, right, again, I want to use all of my guitar. The first time I played the F down here, second time I got it up there. That D flat is always tricky, right? You can do a lot of cool fills on there. A lot of times, I just like to play it safe, and I'll just play the guide tones, and it sounds pretty cool. That time, when it hangs out on the E flat, after it resolves for the second A, you can see I got a little bit of play with that D flat major 9. It's a great way to break it up. And now I'm at the bridge, right? Great Philadelphia saxophone player named Larry McKenna used to call these types of bridges Sears and Roebuck bridges. So you got to be, well, first of all, you got to be old to know what Sears is now, and you got to be really old to know Sears and Roebuck. There ain't been no Roebuck in a long time. But why would you call this a Sears and Roebuck bridge? Well, I like to think that Larry was saying it was because you have the 2-5 of the 4, right? Right? And then it resolves to the 4. And then you can do what you want there, and then it 2-5 of the 5, right? And I did a couple different things there. Again, this is a song where the melody is super simple, and I wanted to voice it in 2 different octaves, so So you heard me just kind of break up and play a couple melody notes. So many times guitar players, when you're playing chord melodies, you just like play a bunch of chords all the time. Chord, chord, chord. It's okay to play some melody. Doesn't that sound nice, right? You're repeating the same theme an octave higher with some harmony. nice little walk up that I like to do there. Same thing happens here. I did the same thing, right? You get to recycle it, and it's that Sears Roebuck bridge. You build it up. This time, instead of playing for the turnaround a 3/6, I did my chromatic thing, and I finished it. You know, you want to do a fill there, that's cool. And then I kind of did this. And you'll notice in the beginning, this is just, I did like a little bit of a kind of like a 3/4 kind of an intro. This is just another E flat major chord voiced all on the bottom strings. Kind of sounds a little bit dense and chunky. Kind of like me. Right, real pretty. And then you got this 2/5 to set it up. Always like to end on that chord, right? So you notice I also went to 3/4. You know, that's just something you can do in an intro to break it up. I kind of like the vibe, you know. You don't know what's going to happen. On a lot of those old bebop songs on the intros that they would come up with on the spot, they oftentimes sounded like more like classical pieces before they went into what we know now as bebop or straight ahead jazz. But you kind of got a little bit of a different flavor, and it just kind of worked well with the song. And you just got to know when to put on the brakes, you know. Nothing like a 2/5 to just sort of, you know, help you steer the ship back into that one. So check it out, jazz guitar friends. This song, September in the Rain, great tune, Harry Warren. It's written in 1935. It's still a great tune to play on gigs, especially as like kind of like a walking ballad or a medium slow swing is where I prefer to play it. Obviously, I guess you could make anything kind of hip at any tempo if you're good, right? But again, couple things to remember. It's just a 1-4-3-6. It goes to the 2. Ends up kind of going to that flat 7, but doesn't resolve to the 1. It goes 2-5-1. You know, once you start to think of a song like, oh, this is a song with just a 1-4-3-6, goes to the 2, goes to the flat 7, Sears Roebuck bridge, then you can really start to mess around with those turnarounds and to have a lot of fun. That's, again, where you can kind of get your fingerprints into this tune. The intros, the turnarounds, and then, you know, how you're going to phrase the melody and all that stuff. So, all right, jazz guitar friends, September in the Rain, even in October, never hurt the crops. Have fun out there. If you made it this far, thanks so much. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I really appreciate all the amazing support. Keep swinging. Bebop.